Take a deep breath and relax. Take another deep breath and relax. Take another deep breath and relax. And now whatever you notice in your experience arising, changing, feeling, thinking, morphing, disappearing, arising, disappearing, whatever you notice, be at rest with that, meaning let it be exactly as it is. And assert only one thing, which is that you don't want anything from what arises. You have no will against or for whatever appears. It is simply allowed to be exactly as it arises, exactly in the configuration of sensations and thoughts and judgments, and desires and wants and pleasure and pain, limitation and freedom. All these configurations are allowed to be exactly as they are. There's nobody there inside of you to argue for or against. You are as if the size of a subatomic particle fallen through the cracks of the seeming molecular structure of creation, with nothing but vastness surrounding you. Can a subatomic particle grasp? Can a subatomic particle hold on to an emotion? Does it have the capacity to judge an appearance, an arising? Does a subatomic particle have any desires from the sensations that are present? It has no tentacles with which to grasp. Thus it is free, for it argues neither for or against. Be like that. Be liberated from your own preferences, your own beliefs, your own biases, just for a few minutes. Take a deep breath. Notice everything as it is and completely let it be and let it go. Take back your tentacles. Another deep breath. Gather more of the sensations and the thoughts, and when you exhale, completely let them be and withdraw your tentacles. Notice how your capacity to grasp or argue grows ever thinner. But it's liberating, not constricting. And for a few more minutes on your own, simply be aware of whatever arises, whatever is morphing and changing and calling out for attention. And allow it to be as it is. Do not reach for it. Do not even really think about it. Just allow it to be Allow it to disappear when it does. Just be aware of the fact that you can be free of needing to grasp. You can be aware of yourself in the free state, the state free of preference. Even as preference arises, it's just another appearance to not grasp for, to not want to change. Preference is also a sensation and a thought, to let go, to let be. And just keep doing this, keep giving away your tendency to grasp or want or need or prefer. Give that back to Source, to God. Surrender your egoic self in this way. And you'll find peace very quickly. And I'll leave you be to this process for a few minutes. Like not having an opinion on anything, not even yourself, not even your feelings, not even your desires, having no opinion on your preferences. Just let them be exactly as they want to be. And you can start noticing glimpses that when you stop fighting your distractions will stop fighting you. There's a single pointedness of will, of awareness, that naturally is established in the absence of needing anything right now to be different than it is. Remember, true freedom lies not in the alteration of your dreamscape. True freedom lies in realizing who you are, right now, always. So why consume your attention with trying to alter the dreamscape when that only takes you away from this pristine, perfect awareness that lies at the heart of each moment as your very own self. That fundamental isness, which gets noticed when we stop trying to alter our experience, when we stop describing what arises, when we stop giving meaning to anything. Suddenly, we remember that we are, that we exist, and this becomes like a refreshing plunge back into that which is true. And then naturally, the removal of illusion begins. The clearing out of mental debris begins naturally, simply by resting with whatever arises, without needing to change a single thought, a single feeling. We allow it to be as it is, and thus our space is freed up to recognize the true underlying presence of our being as being already here, already now, and already wide open. Already unaffected you are, said Yoda, through me. Already unaffected you are. Realize this. When you're doing a 200-yard sprint, you're not going to have a lot of time and attention to investigate and notice the ground that you're walking on, that you're running on. Similarly, when you're racing around trying to figure out what to do, what to be, what to think, what to feel, what not to feel, how are you going to investigate and feel into the ground of being that is below your every thought, that supports your every emotion, that is the very nature upon which all appearances rest to begin with? The naturally unaffected state is already here. It's that which hears my voice without any effort on your part. It's that which sees your thoughts without any effort on your part. It's that which knows sensations and arisings and disappearances without any effort on your part. It is truly the natural state, the unaffected you that has been here from before you were born. Like the screen, the canvas onto which the movie is projected yet leaves no trace. Or the sky, free of flight paths. Like drawing in air. Thus, like that is the nature of appearances. The only trace that thoughts and emotions leave is the evidence that they leave no trace. Clearly, because you're still here, indestructible, unaffected. If emotions affected who you are, you couldn't be here. You would be dented and distorted and you'd be dead by now. Not just physically, you'd be non-existent. Because with all the emotions we've had during our lifetime, if they actually affected us, there would be nothing left of us. And yet that which hears my voice today heard my voice last week and heard your mother's voice decades ago with the same clarity, pristineness, and unaffected receptivity as you do today. See this. The innermost you is completely unaffected by your thoughts and your emotions and your body. Already. It embraces all without ever being affected. Try to not be aware and see if it works. Try to not be immaculately, perfectly existent and see if it works. Try to not be aware. If you are aware, that which you are is somehow aware of the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings and the sensations. Yet the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions and the sensations only appear to be. They appear, they arise, they are known and they disappear. They are unknown. They are known, then they are unknown. Then they are known, then they are unknown. What is their ground of being? What is that receptive, wide open space that sees them come and go, that knows them arise and disappear? What is that? And is that not more you than that which is not here now, yet can arise at some point, randomly? Are you a thought, or are you you? Does a traumatic sensation know you, or do you know the traumatic sensation? Which comes first? Which is stable? Which is you? And you don't have to figure this out. You just acknowledge the obvious, logical truth of it, that's all. Just a moment of acknowledging that indeed, I have always been here. Indeed, my thoughts do not affect me. Even me believing in my thoughts do not affect me, does not leave a trace in that which knows. Because that which knows still has the full capacity to know what arises. It's not dented or limited or obstructed in any way to know this moment. If it was affectable, again, it would be completely corrupted and inoperable by now. Yet, there you are, bright, open, shining, free, immaculate, clean, all-pervasive as ever, right here, listening to my voice without any effort on your part. How's that possible? It means you're not the dream. You're not the dreamscape. You're nothing that arises in the dreamscape. Yet the dreamscape does not arise apart from that which you are. The dreamscape does not exist apart from that which is beyond the dreamscape, or not the dreamscape, or not affected by the dreamscape. Can a dream destroy the dreamer? If you go to bed at night and you dream, whatever happens in your dream, can it in any way, shape, or form destroy the one who went to bed? You're dreaming the dream. The dream comes and goes, leaves an impression, or so it believes, and then it disappears. The very container that brought forth that dream is absolutely unaffected by anything that ever happened in the dream. How much are you bothered today by a dream that occurred to you 20 years ago? Are you still bothered by that dream? Is that still real to you? Did it leave a trace? Did it destroy your I am? Did it put a dent in your capacity to know this moment? Where's the trace? Show me the trace of that dream. Why would you respond any differently to a sensation that arises now, knowing that it cannot contain or destroy you? All we need to do is to let things be as they are and not try to interfere or grasp or replace or change. Naturally, we notice the natural state of all appearances is that wide open, already present, free awareness. Simple, easy, it's what is. Rest into that over and over again. Stop thinking for 2 seconds, radically stop thinking. That heightened cognizance that you notice, that heightened sense of I exist, that is awake, that is the natural state that you cannot get rid of. It's already here before thought, before words, before feelings. When you rest with whatever appears instead of battle with whatever appears, that which appears will naturally relinquish itself into the wide open state. The wide open state becomes like this omnidirectional magnetic force that resolves every appearance, that undoes every knot, naturally, by simply not battling what happens, not minding what happens. Like the subatomic particle, it cannot reach for, it cannot grasp, it cannot have an opinion, it cannot argue with, it doesn't even want to, doesn't even know how to, doesn't have the capacity to. Put yourself in a state of the subatomic particle, with nothing but space around you, and no capacity whatsoever to conjure up a single preference about whatever arises. And before you know it, an infinite freedom begins to reveal itself. That's it. No what about this, no what about that, no but yes, no but no. Let it go. Let it be. It's already perfect. Whatever appears is already perfectly rested in the natural state of that which is ever here, ever open, ever awake, ever indestructible, ever immaculate, ever pervasive, ever free, ever ingraspable, ever formless. Appearances are the unaffected state. When we rest with them rather than fight with them, they reveal themselves to be nothing but this immaculate mirror of pure consciousness. A wave does not exist apart from water or ocean. You are ocean, appearances are waves. Let the waves be as they are, and instead of describing the shape and the size and the danger and the threat of the wave, your attention will suddenly open up to recognize what the wave is actually made of. The same water that you are. And so issues are naturally resolved by not even dealing with them. And then from that resolved state, intelligence acts spontaneously. The more you practice, the more you liberate your fears in the same way. You just rest with them. You don't touch them. You don't argue with them. You just notice them and release them back into the wild of open awareness. And they dissolve. What remains is this immaculate state of that which already is you. And then something starts operating the body and the mind. Something starts generating natural, spontaneous movement and impulses and flow. You're just a witness to that brilliance at work at that point. And then when attachment to outcome comes back in, and fear for survival or security or what you want, you simply repeat the process. You take a deep breath, and you release the appearances back into the nature of which they arose and are made of. You stop thinking if you can for a few seconds, and you notice the immaculate state of wide open awakeness. Love isness awareness is all there is. Thoughts do not have isness. Only love isness awareness has isness. If you look deep inside the heart of your direct experience right now, you will find that certain things don't have isness. They only appear to have isness. But there's an isness that is the ground of all these appearances, that always and ever is. That is God, that is life. That is the sacred nature of all things. That is love, isness, awareness. It's you. Simply put, it's you. What you are is all that there is. There's nothing in addition to what you are. Go to the sense that you are, and it will reveal what you are. Then you'll know there's nothing but that. Only appears as if there is. It never changes either. You can lock onto it if you want to. With practice, you will be able to lock onto it and allow all appearances to simply come and go without any grasping for prolonged periods of time. And then it amplifies. It's like awareness turns in onto the pristine state. And it amplifies it, and it begins to outshine thoughts and emotions. This is what we call bliss or joy. Causeless joy is your nature. You just have to be more reflective of your nature rather than be reflective of what you think is out there, which is seemingly acting as if it's not your nature. But that's just an appearance. Wake up. So, repeat this meditation. It was like 25 minutes, as often as you can for yourself. You can use your own dialogue or your own intuitive guidance, or you can replay the session in bentinhomassaro.tv. Self-Realization School, Season 3, I believe Session 4. You've never had a problem, you see. Do we have a microphone? Cool. Does anyone have a question? Very smart. Oh, hello. Raise your hand. Okay, nice.
Thank you. Back in July, I asked a question about if doing this work would make me a better parent.
If what?
If doing this work would make me a better parent.
Has it?